Friends, what if I tell you that in ancient India there were some prominent and promiscuous Japhetic women that had a huge role in shaping the Hindu mythology? Now, I don't blame any group of people trying to present their history in a glorious manner. However, in human history, there will be times of triumph and also times of misfortunes and great losses. And if we cover up parts of whatever happened, then there won't be any truth in all our sayings. Unfortunately, that's what has happened to Hinduism. Now, all major religions agree upon a worldwide flood that destroyed the entire civilization at one point of human history. If it is such a major incident, today we all should be able to say how many years have gone by since that flood. It is all a matter of counting 1, 2, 3. However, in spite of bragging that Hinduism is the Sanatan Dharam which has no beginning and no end and misleading people, no one, I repeat, no one will be able to tell you when that flood occurred. But why not, you may ask? It is because if they do, it would collapse all their fake stories they have made up over the centuries. Well, instead of crying over the spilt milk, let me tell you the story. Noah's flood occurred in the year 3298 BC. Noah, his 3 sons, and their wives survived the flood. Out of the 3 sons, Ham, who is called Kamdev in Hinduism, owned Africa. Japheth owned the cold territories of the northern hemisphere. And Noah's most pious son Shem, the Bharat, established ancient India. However, when he arrived in India, there were some people already settled there. They were of a Japhetic tribe known as the Kurus who had come down from Siberia. Shem formed a coalition government called Bharatvarsha with them. They, who called themselves Purus in the beginning, later called themselves Kurus. And the Mahabharata war was a power struggle that took place within their kingdom. Now, here's something we need to know about the Kurus. Adi Parva of Mahabharata refers to a practice of free love among the denizens of Uttarakuru, like the one followed by birds and the beasts. Maybe it was due to living in close quarters in cold Siberia and huddling up with each other for warmth. And again, one may decry it, saying it is promiscuity. However, it was not regarded sinful as it was stated to have the approval of the rishis and the sanction of antiquity. Now, let us talk about Kunti, the mother of the 5 Pandavas who established righteousness in Mahabharata. For those who don't know, Kunti is not a name. It roughly means she was a spinster. The word Kunti is related to the term Kunwari, which means unwed, and she is from the Kuru culture too. That's how she had 5 sons from 5 different entities, which was perfectly acceptable in her culture. And again, when her 5 sons brought home the girl Draupadi, she told them to share her among themselves because it is a common thing in her society. On the contrary, Shem, the king Bharat, was an ardent follower of Yahweh. He and his people worshipped Yahweh in the form of Narayana. Do you think he would want his sons to marry women from the Kuru community? Now, Abraham and his forefather Shem the Bharat had something in common. They both worshipped the true God Yahweh. Abraham didn't want to take a bride for his son among the Canaanite women who didn't worship Yahweh and did not share the virtues that he believed in. So he called his oldest servant, who he sent out to find a good bride for his son Isaac, and said to him, "Swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and earth, that you will not allow my son to marry one of these local Canaanite women. Go instead to my homeland, to my relatives, and find a wife there for my son Isaac." Seeing this, you can assume how concerned Shem the Bharat could have been about his sons mingling with these Japhetic women who were fairer with their inviting rosy cheeks. However, that's exactly what happened. We don't see Bharat's son ascending to his father's throne. His son Asher was with Nimrod building a palace for him in Nineveh. Coming to think of it, the forefather of the Assyrians was a Semite, being the son of Shem. Meanwhile, the Kushites such as Rama and Krishna were rolling into India, which already has a population of Semites who were the Aryans and the Japhetic tribes of Purus and Kurus. Now, Kushites were very dark and they favored white women to marry them. In those days, white women were often abducted, like in the case of Helen of Troy, and white kids were kidnapped or bought and sold like they sold Jacob into Egypt. In these settings take place Ramayana and Mahabharata. They are not two events that took place thousands of years apart, as they try to tell you. This is why characters from Mahabharata step into Ramayana, and if you point them out, they will say that they were Chiranjeevis, meaning people who live forever. I wonder where they are today. Now, how about Sita of Ramayana? Was she really taken out of the earth in a box as a baby? It doesn't happen, friends. She was either adopted or bought by Janakan from some slave traders. Probably she was Japhetic too. And another disgrace is the ceremony called Swayamvar. It is not at all an occasion where the girl gets to choose her groom as it is portrayed. Let's imagine you are a father of a beautiful girl. Would you make an announcement saying, "Anyone who lifts my car up by the bumper and drags it up the slope in front of my house for 100 meters, I will give my daughter in marriage to that person"? Of course you won't. What if someone like Gabbar Singh drags your car 150 meters like a breeze and asks for your daughter's hand? Will you be happy? Should the groom's character matter at all when choosing a partner for your daughter? And again, do white girls sit around dreaming, "If I ever marry, I would only marry a Kushite man"? Well, as dark as I am, I came to know that it is not true. Now, I believe there was Ram and there was Sita. However, their wedding was a disaster, and Sita did certain things in frustration, and finally the earth swallowed her up. To me, the moral they try to portray here is that if you are disloyal to your husband, you will end up like Sita. Well, either way, I would like to bundle up all that is said with the title, "The Trouble with the Japhetic Women." Thanks for watching.